Welcome, everybody, to episode 55 of the effing title. And today we have one of my longest streaming friends. She's awesome. Streams some Apex, streams some other games. You're going to hear her adorable, unique giggle multiple times probably throughout the podcast. Can't wait. It is my good friend, BasicJenn. And BasicJenn, is it okay if I just call you Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How was that for an intro? You like that?
Yeah.
There it is. See? Already, straight off the bat. I was trying to think. I always try to do once, like intros for everybody, and sometimes some people it's harder than others. But so tell the people a little bit about yourself, Jen, that don't know you and haven't actually checked out one of your streams yet. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jen. So it's BasicJenn on Twitch. I like shooter games. Apex is one of my favorites. I stream a few times a week. I have a lot of dogs, and you hear them throughout every stream. And that's my life so far.
I remember I met you through Fro and Ash, I think it was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got our own unique little friendship after that. It's interesting seeing everyone kind of how everyone's from 2 years ago. Wow, to think that we've known each other now for 2 years. How everybody's grown since then, right?
Yeah.
Like Ash streams like maybe once a month. I don't remember the last time I heard from Fro. And then I see you about once a week. I would say I catch you while I'm at work.
Yeah.
And then most of the times I just have you lurking while I'm streaming. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It is. I will say this. I miss the days when you, Ash, and Fro were running ranked Apex like it was your job, and we were like trying to enter tournaments and.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was one of my favorite times.
It just seemed like it was very like it felt like sometimes it feels like streaming. Sometimes you can have you're almost like very what's the word I'm looking for here? Either like you're not into it or like you're almost being forced to play a game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I used to feel like that with Apex, not Apex, with Fortnite. Fortnite would put out a new season. It's like, oh, I have to check out the new season because it's Fortnite and I might get some viewers and like that sort of thing. It felt like it very much wasn't those days for you guys. You guys just kind of fuck it. We're just playing Apex.
Yeah, it was like, wake up. If you're on, let's get on. If you're not, get on.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so the topics for this week, for everyone that doesn't know, I let my guests pick the topics other than the final topic. The final topic was one that was created by the lovely, ridiculous Anad Dana. Is My Life as A. We have anime, which is going to be an interesting one. I feel like you're going to be full lead on that one. Family and streaming, which is going to be an interesting one considering the differences between you and me in that situation. And My Life as A, which, as I just stated a minute ago, was a segment created by the lovely Dana, which has been stuck around since she decided on it. So let's start this. Anime. Not the girl that I used to know in high school. Anime. Right?
Yeah.
This is anime. I always try to make that joke as corny as it fucking is just because I find it funny myself. So anime. I am new to the anime game. I will say that I am like a fucking newborn baby with this stuff. I watched some Dragon Ball Z when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And that's literally it. That's my entire knowledge up until this past year, where I asked Dana about it, and she was like, "I think you might like Death Note."
Ooh, yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, sure." So I watched Death Note. And I got a couple episodes in, and I was like, this is awesome. And it was one of those things where I was watching it, and I was doing stuff around the house one day, and the mid-season, how it changes the intro from, like, kind of like the poppy to, like, the heavy metal.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me, because I was, like, cleaning and watching it at the same time. But I loved Death Note. I didn't think I would as much as I did. I actually now own a little mini book version of it back here.
Oh, awesome.
I have a neckerchief of God, it's been so long now since I watched it. Like one of the neck scarves there. Of the main Shirogami. There, what the fuck's his name? God damn it.
Was it like Rafiki or
Yeah,
something like that?
no,
No.
oh, Ryuk.
Oh yeah, Ryuk.
Ryuk, yeah, I have the neck scarf of Ryuk, and then Dana started watching Hunter x Hunter, and about halfway through it, I think it was about halfway through, she was like, "I think you might like this, but I don't know." And I was like, "Well, if you think I might," I was like, "I'll give it a chance and see how it is." And it's an interesting one. I do find it interesting. I don't like it as much as I liked Hunter x Hunter. I mean, I don't like Hunter x Hunter as much as I like Death Note.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting. It's something that I can put on as kind of like background noise, but it's new background noise, so it can kind of keep my attention a little bit more there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, though, that's literally all I know.
Yeah, well, I didn't really get into anime until I was like older as well. Like, I know people grew up watching it, but I didn't. I grew up watching Nickelodeon and Disney, so I didn't really get into it until I was an adult. And the first one I watched was Naruto,
Okay.
and I
I
binged that.
see. I that was one of the ones, and I've had this discussion with a bunch of other people. I tried watching Naruto when I was in high school, and I got about 4 or 5 episodes in, and I couldn't
Mhm.
follow anything. It may be just kind of the time that I was in and like that, but like I couldn't understand it. I wasn't following it, so I was like, "No, fuck this, I'm done." I turned it off. I think I put on Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I'm like, there, this shit makes sense to me. It's 3 kids trying to get jawbreakers. Let's go. Um, so what are some anime that you like? What is some of your favorite anime, for instance?
um, I really liked Demon Slayer.
Okay, that's the one. It's funny because of course, because I have so many fucking friends that like anime. I've heard of a lot of these, but I have zero idea on any of them. So it's kind of it's
Uh,
funny for me doing.
yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of the big ones like that everyone likes. It's like it's because they're really good. But yeah, Demon Slayer is like one of my favorites. I like Attack on Titan. Um, I don't
T-
know, just seeing that first season was like so cool.
Attack on Titan is the one where there's like the giant naked like giants, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, okay.
yeah. I don't know, just like the scene of them like eating the people. It just I was like, oh, this is so cool. um, let's see. Of course, we have like My Hero Academia.
Hmm.
Um, I really did like Naruto. Like I binged that. I was working at the time, and so I would just sit at my desk and open up one screen and then have like my work on the other screen, and I binged it every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, but yeah, I watch a lot here and there. I like the ones that are more, um, yeah, I guess like fighting and just like I don't know that just look cool. Things that talk about dark stuff. I guess.
Hmm. It is. I mean, and it's another one of those ones that it's one that I find interesting as well because there's like a very specific like anime versus just like Western cartoons. I guess it would be called. I'm not 100% sure what they call it. But like animation, I guess anime versus animation. Because like
Okay, yeah.
because like I've said before, like I love like for instance, Young Justice, right?
Hmm.
Love watching Young Justice. And I once at one point I said that was anime, and I got my fucking head ripped off. I got yelled at for about 5 minutes about how I have no idea what anime is, and I'm like, okay, I guess I don't. Just you tell me then, like, um, uh, but I mean, like, would a show like Yu-Gi-Oh would that be considered?
Yeah, I think that's anime.
Yeah, okay, because like that's the thing. Like I said, I'm for everyone out there that is listening. Like I said, I'm completely new to this game. I have no freaking clue what is and isn't. Um, it is I'm learning. I'm doing a shit job learning, but I'm learning. Um, I do find I'm trying to think of the way to word it. Do you, when you watch anime, do you watch it with the original voice actors or do you watch it with the English dub?
No, I prefer subtitles first. I like
Oh, okay.
listening to like the real like voices and stuff, just the way
Mm.
that it's like
The way that it
made,
was,
I
the
guess.
way that it was originally supposed to be made, sort of thing.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
don't mind reading subtitles. I'm a pretty fast reader, so like I'll read it and then I get look at everything else. But like yeah, I would do subs first. If there isn't and it's only dubbed, then like I'll obviously I'll watch it dubbed, but
Hmm.
I like subs better.
I find that for me, um, it's hard to pay attention with subtitles for me personally,
Yeah.
because it's like I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on, but then also then having to read, and I'm hearing a different language.
Mhm.
Like that kind of fucks me up a little bit. So for me, I like the dub, and sometimes I find it funny because you can tell that it's dubbed just by watching like how the mouth moves and
Yeah.
everything. Or just like the way something is said, it's like that's not the way that was supposed to be written, you know. But there was one. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was one. I wonder if I can find it on my screen here. Hold up a sec. There was one because I have HBO Max. Um,
Oh yeah.
so a lot
They're
of people,
good.
a lot of people that I know have Crunchyroll, and that's
I
how
have
they
that too.
watch. So and that's how they watch everything, right? I
Mhm.
found out that I think that either HBO Max or HBO and Crunchyroll either have a deal, or Crunchyroll is owned by HBO Max. I
Hmm.
think it's a deal. I refuse to think that they just straight up own them. But the reason why I say that is because I have Crunchyroll on HBO Max.
Yeah, some shows are on HBO
Yeah.
Max. Like I know not everything obviously, but like a lot of the big
Hmm.
titles and stuff like
So like
they're on
right,
HBO
so like
Max.
right here, like I have like, and this is the English dub ones. 91 Days, Alda Noah Zero, Bungo Stray Dogs, Death Note. That's how I watched it. Um, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood. I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. I need like I'm a little bit more than halfway done with all the episodes, but I haven't finished it yet. But it's really
Okay.
good.
The God of High School, Hunter x Hunter, Inspector. So there's a lot of like really good. The Promised Neverland. That's one I feel like I've been hearing about.
Ooh, it is good.
Okay, so that is one that I've
And
probably been
then
hearing about then.
they have new episodes coming out on Hulu like weekly. Well, there hasn't
Mm,
really been one for like a week or so, but they've been pushing out the newer episodes on Hulu
okay,
that come out.
okay. And then like for subtitled ones, yeah, right here, Food Wars. I saw a
Oh
commercial for
yeah.
Food Wars, and I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that there's a anime where it's about making food? And then I was like, that sounds so stupid. And then I watched like a clip of it, and I was like, oh my god, this looks like the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I tried
I
watching it, and I couldn't do it. The other thing that sucks as well, is a season 3. I think is where it starts on here.
the other episodes, I think the other
Mm.
seasons are on Netflix.
So
I think
season
the first
so
two seasons or
so it
something.
starts at season 4 and then season 5.
Yeah, I think Netflix might have like the first couple of seasons for that. I heard it was really good though.
I like the thing is like I said at first I was like, it's an anime about making food, like fuck out of here. And then I watched like a little bit of it, just like, and I was like, wow, I was like, this actually looks kind of cool. Um, but I mean, and it's interesting as well because you get the people that like for like that are on the Crunchyroll side of it, and then you get the people that are on like the Studio Ghibli.
Mhm.
I hope I'm saying that right. Jackson isn't here right now. At least I don't think she is to correct me. I said it on stream one day, and it took me like 15 minutes to try to say it correctly. I couldn't say it right. Um, but like these are all like, I mean, I'm trying to like legacy sort of movies, right? Like they're like the legend ones.
Yeah,
Um,
they're good.
Tales from Earthsea, The Wind Rises, Castle in the Sky, Princess Mononoke. I know I just fucked the hell out of that one. The Cat Returns, Ponyo. But like I've seen these. One of my bosses has. I think he has the original VHS of a bunch of these.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I have them on DVD.
Um, But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, like I said, I never used to Dragon Ball Z. That was it. Naruto, and I was like, cool. Yu-Gi-Oh, awesome. Like those kind of like the furthest I ever went with it. And then, like, of course, get into streaming, start meeting new friends, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, My Hero Academia. And I say, what the hell did you just call me? So obviously there's subtitles versus the English dub. We just went over that. Um, we've gone over some of our favorite ones anyway. Um, what are some of the ones that you've seen that you weren't a fan of,
um,
or are there any that you?
I think I've started a few, and then I just never finished it because I couldn't really get into it anymore.
Okay.
Like once I lose interest, I'm just like, no, like I can't. I mean, most that I've seen are good, just because like I like to read like what they're about and stuff, and if
Mm-hmm.
it seems like I'll like it, then I'll give it a try. I don't bother with ones that like I'm just not really interested in, like romance ones or stuff like that.
You're not all about the lovey sappy romance ones.
Nah, I want some
I want
action.
some. We want some naked giants eating some peoples. We don't want no lovey dovey bullshit stories. Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's like it's a whole new world for me. So I kind of don't really know what I should watch, what I shouldn't watch, what I would like, what I might not like that sort of thing. The other thing as well, for me especially, is like, and it's probably the same with a lot of other people. So we listed off so far. We've listed off HBO Max, and then we have Netflix, and then we have Hulu, Disney Plus. What else is there for streaming services that we have?
Crunchyroll. We
Crunchyroll.
have there's like Funimation.
So it's like even just going outside of the whole anime thing, we have the Mandalorian, we have WandaVision, we have the normal, History Channel, CBS, TNT, the DC TV shows, the Marvel TV shows, we have all this different stuff. It's hard for me to start following one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell anyone this, but I'm like almost like a full season now behind on DC stuff. No one knows that, so don't tell anyone that. But so it's hard for me as well. Like it's like to try and like keep up with a lot of this stuff because it's like I'll see one, I'll be like, that looks kind of cool, and then I sit there and I'm like, oh, that's right. I haven't caught up on Black Lightning. I haven't caught up on Batwoman. I haven't caught up on Flash. I haven't caught up on Superman and Lois. I haven't caught up on Hunter x Hunter. Tacoma FD, and I just say like listing off the different ones, and it's like,
Yeah,
never
I get
mind.
behind. Like I recently, like I would like when I first started watching anime, I was
Mm-hmm.
watching like ones that had like a ton of seasons, and I realized like it was just like draining me, I guess, trying to like catch up. So like now, if it has more than like two seasons, I won't watch it just yet. I like to watch ones that I can finish in a day. Like I can finish a whole season in a
Mm-hmm.
day, and then I'm like, cool, I really enjoyed that. But then I have like the Full Metal Alchemist is like my long one, I guess.
Okay.
So like when I'm not watching one that I can watch in a day and I don't know what to watch, I'll go and start watching that just because it is a longer one.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I stopped watching ones with like a ton of seasons because it just like it stresses me out because I want to finish them. It's like you only have so much time.
um. Yeah, no, I completely get it because like when like for Death Note, I go into Death Note. I think I watched Death Note in like a month. Like I'd never like really binged anything before. I think I watched that in like a month. Um,
Yeah, it's not
but
bad. Yeah, like I'll if I like it, I'll binge it for a
actually, now
while.
that I say a month, that seems like it was too long. I think I binged it in
I
like
like
2 weeks.
yeah, a couple weeks sounds like
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
because like I was watching it like I would get off stream and immediately put it on, like that sort of thing. If I wasn't streaming, I was watching it, or as a work, like one of the two. So Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist. So now is there Brotherhood and then is there other versions, or is it just
Um, I know that there was one first, like
okay?
when they first put out, and then they made Brotherhood, which was, I guess, I think somebody told me what was supposed to be like the actual like manga and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people told me to like not bother watching the first one and just go
Just go straight to
to
Brotherhood.
Brother. Yeah, because it still explains everything from the beginning, like why all this stuff is happening and everything. Um, but I don't know. Then when I told somebody that who has watched both, they're like, "Oh no, like you should watch the first one. Like you need to watch it." I'm like, "Well, I'm already so far into Brother that's gonna have to wait."
I think the one thing I will say that is really kind of cool with this is they do a lot of the anime. The styles are very. It's gonna sound weird to say this. The styles are similar, but so drastically different. Like if you get what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like kind of like the way that the characters are drawn is very similar, but each show has a drastic different turn on the way that they look. Just like looking at the way that like the faces are drawn on all of them, they're all very similar. But then like the feature of the eyes or the nose or the mouth or the hair changes so drastically between the seasons, or not seasons, but between the characters and what they're trying to show. And it's one of the things that I liked the most about watching anime and starting to get into it is the animation and the actual drawing of it. I guess is the way I would say it.
Yeah.
Um, because of course, one of the things that some people don't know is I used to draw in high school. Haven't drawn in a while. I recently started trying to draw again, and it didn't turn out well. Um, but yeah, no, that's one of the things that I really enjoy. That kind of it's interesting to see. Like I'm always interested to see like how are they going to do this? How is a character like this? Like how do they look? How do they, how are they going to show this? And I like some of them they use computer animations for certain aspects, but not all aspects. It was one of the things I remember with I forgot what Yu-Gi-Oh one it was. I went on a Yu-Gi-Oh binge at one point, and I rewatched like all of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I don't know if you were into Yu-Gi-Oh or not.
No, I never watched it.
So there was the original season, which was really cool. Then they had the second part of it that was cool. Then they went with a brand new group of people, and that one was okay. And then they went to like motorcycles,
Hmm.
and there was a lot of CGI and like computer graphics in it. And then I was like, okay, what's the most recent one? I found the most recent one I watched on Amazon Prime, and like they were putting cards down, and it was just full like CGI computer animated images. Like there was no hand drawn anymore. And at that point, I like literally just shut it off. I was like, I'm not watching this. No, I can't. Um, I'm trying to think of some other things to ask about. Like I said, I'm completely new to anime. Like, if you were going to suggest to people, like, okay, let's do this one first. If you were to suggest a anime to someone, just regular old, Bill and Linda off the street. Hey, I think you should watch this. What would you suggest to them?
Probably if it was just like random people that I've like never met before, like I
Mm-hmm.
would probably say probably My Hero Academia, I
Okay.
guess. Cuz like it's I don't know, it's like bubbly, it's like fun, but it has action. There's a story to it. Like it's not just like I don't know, one specific thing, I guess.
Okay. I was gonna say I almost would lean in the other direction. For me personally, I would introduce them to Death Note. Simply for the fact that I think that when most people hear the word anime or like animation or cartoon sort of stuff, I think a lot of just people that don't know what it is would think that it's more childish or kind of not weebish, but you know how like there's kind of like that stigma of like, oh look, it's like little girls dressed provocatively and shit like that.
Yeah.
Um, that's why I would introduce Death Note to him, because it would be like, here, check that out. And as soon as they see Ryuk and killing people and writing down names, and it's like it would be kind of a complete switch for him. And I think that was the thing for me personally that kind of made me like Death Note a little bit more, was that it completely caught me off guard almost. Like you're following it, you're watching it, you get the main person, the main character, and you're like, okay, cool. So this is the main character. This is his Shirogami. This is his, death demon or death god. He's writing
Mm-hmm.
down people's names, da 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 da. And then like as it goes on, you're slowly seeing this guy go from like he has good morals and like you kind of understand why he's doing it, to, oh shit, we're following the bad guy, aren't we? And that
Yeah.
twist, like, and the thing that I liked the most about it was that they slowly hinted at it throughout the entire thing, and you always kind of thought like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. He pulled back on it. But the thing I liked was that, for me anyway, I felt like it was about like 3/4 of the way through the entire thing. That's when it fully twisted, and I was like, nope, this is just the bad guy. This guy's just evil. Um,
It is a good one though.
It is, and that's one of the other things as well. Is and the funny thing as well. So, like, I remember I said to someone that I was watching Death Note, and they immediately were like, watching the movie that they made, right? Like on Netflix, like the live action one. You're not watching that, right? And I was like, no. I was like, wait, there's a live action one, and they're like, don't watch it. I was like, I'm watching it now.
Yeah, I
And
watched it anyways.
the only thing that was good about that was William Dafoe
Yeah, I love him.
being the voice of Ryuk. That was the only thing. But anime is a very interesting one. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that are huge into it. They're always watching anime. They have their favorite anime. They have their favorite character. I know a bunch of people from like the Illuminox group. This past Halloween dressed up as characters from different animes.
Cool.
Yeah. Don't ask me who they were, because I have no idea. Um, but it's definitely an interesting and I like the thing that I think that I like the most about it is that it does, because it is animation, it does have that kind of like we were just talking about with Death Note. We're talking about a whole premise where a notebook of a death god comes to Earth, and if you pick it up, you have the power to kill people.
Yeah.
Like that's like what?
No, that's interesting.
Right? I mean, and that, like, Hunter x Hunter, there's certain people around the world that have special unique powers, and they can become hunters, which grant them special powers, or special um things. They can do different stuff. Um just like the storylines that you can create with some of this stuff is really cool and really innovative and different.
I've never seen Hunter x Hunter, but I might actually just start that.
It's interesting. I'll say that. Like I said, I'm as you can tell, I'm the noobiest of noobs when it comes to anime. Um, but it's kind of it's cool. It's got unique, like, for me it had a unique cast of characters. It gets dark in certain places, which I thought was kind of cool. But then also there's a lot of times when it's just kind of like very hee hee ha ha. Um,
Yeah.
so um so the main way, like I said, the main way that I watch it is through HBO Max, and as we know, and as everyone out there knows, we've listed off a ton of other ways. Honestly, if you are into anime, or you want to start watching anime, honestly, I would say just buy a Crunchyroll subscription. I I don't have it personally, but from what I've heard from other people, is that like it literally has everything.
Yeah, it has a lot.
Yeah. So, um, but All right. So on to the second topic, unless you have anything else you want to hit on with anime.
Um, no, I think we're good.
Alright, family in streaming. It's kind of interesting. To me. This is interesting that you brought this up because um I've had coaching and streaming, or no, family and coaching, and I've had family and sports as two other topics. So now I have family and streaming, so it kind of brings the whole thing in. So family and streaming. This was a very interesting one. Why did you pick family and streaming?
um, I don't know. It's like I know most people, like we all live different lives,
Hmm.
and it's like for me, like I balance, like I do have a kid and a wife and stuff, and so like my streaming thing, like it sometimes it just gets hard because I like they always come first.
Hmm.
It's just like, and then you sometimes you have like kids popping in the background, and you got like laughing somewhere.
um, yeah, I can imagine. Like, it's one of those things. I don't want to say that I envy it a little bit, but I do.
Mhm.
Because like for me, like I said, it's an interesting one for me because, um, with like I said, with the other topics, it was kind of cool as well talking with the people because it's like, one of them was family and sport, like no, it was wife, my wife and sports or something like that. I think was the first one. Then it was family and coaching, and it was interesting because like wife sport, family. It was a kid and a wife, husband, versus me when nothing coaching wise. And then it's kind of the same thing here. It's like you have your wife, you have your kid, and you stream versus me where I have it's just me. I'm the whole gang and
Mhm.
streaming. So it's like I always love talking these things because it's interesting seeing both sides of it to me.
Mhm.
Because for instance for me, if I want to stream, I just kind of get on and just go. Whereas
Yeah.
I know for you, you could have, oh, well, we have school or we have, after school activities or, the wife needs me to do something or, all these different elements to it. So how do you manage kind of
It,
being the superwoman where you have to um, juggle all of these things because a lot of people don't realize that taking time off from streaming sometimes it's beneficial, it's needed, but it also can be detrimental to said streaming.
yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely like kind of hard, and you kind of have to like. I try to manage my time in advance, I guess, but
Hmm.
like you have those things that just pop up. Like it was like one of the days I was gonna start streaming, and then I have to go pick up my kid from school because somebody was sick or she didn't feel well, and it's like, okay, well, like now I can't stream, like, or I'm gonna be late, or it's the reason why I only get to stream. Well, not that I get to stream, but I feel comfortable streaming like 3 days a week
Hmm.
mostly. Is like to make room for if I do have other appointments to do, or like
Yeah.
I do have to like I like to make sure things are clean. And then plus I have 5 dogs, and one of
Damn.
my dogs just had puppies, so that's three
Oh
puppies.
wow.
That's 8 dogs in the house. So like just taking care of everybody constantly
Hmm.
is like it's kind of hard, but like I love streaming so much, like I don't want to give it up.
Hmm.
But like I understand that like it does hurt like not being on as often or
Yeah.
for so long. Like I'm on as soon as I can be, from like taking her to school and then coming home and like taking care of the dogs really quick and getting ready to like I end stream 30 minutes before I have to like get to the school to like pick up,
Yeah.
like it's definitely, I try to manage my time as best as I can, but it's definitely hard. But um I don't know, it's worth it. Like, and my wife understands too that she knows that I really like streaming, so she's never like, well, like it would be less stressful for you maybe like if you didn't do it, but like she
Hmm.
knows that I really love it, so she encourages it. Like especially if they are both home for like a holiday or something, like everyone just kind of like running around the background. And I'm like, oh my god.
I was gonna say there's been a few times where I've seen watched the stream like during the holidays and I'm at work and like you're doing something and the next thing I know is I look over, like I'm doing something on the computer, I look over at my other monitor and you're like turned around looking at a dog, or you're turned around like answering a question, from a kid, or it's
Yeah.
like
And it's
um
like I still want to like protect her in the sense of like I don't really want to like
of
so
course.
like I try not to bring her in
Hmm.
the camera frame and stuff. So I'm like just peek in and tell me what's wrong. Like tell me. I was like, if you're hurt or the house is on fire, like run in and get me. But like if it's not, just just
Yeah.
lightly knock and I'll try to answer you and stuff. But it's like I'll be in the middle of an Apex game and I'm like we're like maybe second or third like trying to finish the game, and it's just like, oh my god, just so many things are happening right now. Other dogs go crazy because someone delivers something.
Mm,
That happens a lot. That happens a lot on my stream. The
yeah.
dogs will just go crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's I applaud you with how you do handle it, because like I said, like, or like you just said, wife, kid, 5 dogs, three, just gave birth to 3 other ones. Um, and you manage your time, I think, beautifully, because like, yeah, like I'm on most of the socials when I can be, and I'm not streaming, and I'm not kind of working, and I'm just kind of taking a break of work. I'll go on to different things, and I'll see, like, oh, Jen just said this, or Ash said this, or like Dana retweeted this, or Jagger put this up, or Xander shared a clip, or and I'm always looking through that, and you're always really good with communicating to people, like, hey, look, no stream today, I'm not feeling it, or hey, look, I can't do this, I have to go do this instead. And I think that you do a great job of managing your time off, with also um, letting kind of your followers know what's going on,
Yeah.
because like I said,
Yeah,
like.
I try not to just up and just not do it and then
Mhm.
let everybody know.
Because like I know for a fact, like I have a friend who took like 2 months off of streaming. They had their own stuff going on. They were moving around and doing stuff, but they took 2 months off, and then they planned this huge comeback thing, right? Like, hey, look, I'm coming back. I'm gonna get after it. Everything's changed. I got all this new stuff, and then he came back, and there was no one there.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's been 2 months, and you haven't said anything to anyone. You haven't told anyone about it, and then just out of nowhere, you're like, hey, I'm coming back. And I think
Yeah.
I can see that being a real tough one, for kind of in the back of your mind, like, just that, like, that could happen, sort of thing.
Mhm.
But like you said, you have a great support system in your wife, who is, understands that you like streaming, and pushes you to, keep doing it, or pushes you to not to keep doing it. That's the wrong way of wording that. Yeah, I can see it now. She's sitting behind you, like, you better fucking stream today. I don't want to. Um, but I was like, she helps motivate you to, like, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like she'll sometimes if she goes on lunch or something,
Hmm.
she'll see like on the days that I'm streaming and stuff, she'll come in and like talk about how like she's on lunch right now and stuff. She just wanted to watch for a little bit. Or if I'm not on, she goes to work before I even take the kid to school. So like she doesn't know sometimes like if I can't stream or if I
Mm.
decided not to. So if I'm not on, she'll text and be like, "Hey, like what's wrong? Why aren't you streaming?" And I'm like, "Oh, like this happened," or other things came up, and she's like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, it's always in the back of my mind. It's like if I'm not streaming as often, like I feel like I won't go anywhere in the long run.
Mm.
But I don't know. It's like I just really enjoy it, and like having people come in and like watch me play certain games, or like talk about something, or like we're just constantly laughing if I'm playing with like my two other friends. It's like I don't know. Like that's good enough for me right
Oh yeah,
now. Like where am I?
I was saying to someone for a while, like, stop looking at your viewers, just kind of, enjoy yourself, have fun. You're here to have fun. That's what this is. Your content is going to be better if you're having fun than if you're, worrying about your numbers, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I say that, and then what am I doing? I'm worrying about my view count. I'm worrying about why people aren't coming in. And recently, I started taking off my view count from different scenes that I have,
Mhm.
and I've just kind of been like, trying my best to ignore the number, because no matter what, you can get rid of it on any screen. It seems like. Actually, now that I say it, can I click this button and get rid of it? Oh, I can. Well, that just changed the fucking game right there. But yeah, no. So like I completely get that too, because like it's for me it's different, right? Like we just went over, wife, kid, dogs. Me, it's me, and the loneliness of my apartment. So like I go to work, I come home. I don't need to worry about having to get a kid. I don't need to worry about walking the dogs. I don't need to worry about making sure the wife is okay. Like I can just stream, and it seems like a benefit. But
Mhm.
there's days when it's so detrimental mentally and draining mentally, because it is one of those things where it's like if I have a bad day, of course I can tell stream, but it's different telling stream than being able to tell a person.
Yeah.
You know, but like my main family, or what I would consider my family, is my college brothers that I played football with, and my
Mhm.
actual family, and then like one or two other people outside of that I've met, um, that I consider that family.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's been that weird one where I'm gonna try and word this the best way so I don't piss people off. COVID was kind of good to me. I think I worded that right, so that won't piss anyone off, right?
Yeah.
Um, in the fact that um, a lot of my college buddies I reconnected with. If anyone tunes in during the mornings, you're almost always going to hear Rob's staticky mic, and him leaving every now and then. You're going to hear Jeff yelling loudly. You might hear John every now and then just silently, quietly, say something. Um, but these are guys that I've kind of come back into my life into like a daily aspect where like me and John used to talk like once a month. Me and Rob used to talk maybe once every 2 3 months. Me and Jeff, we used to talk a couple times a week. Now it's almost like it's a daily thing. We all talk to each other.
Yeah.
One of my friends, Josh. I mean, I didn't talk to him from when I graduated, basically until um we started until he found out I was streaming. So like it's been like for me, it's been really kind of cool. Kind of getting my family back almost.
Yeah.
Um, but like my mom and dad support what I want to do. They're not overly enthusiastic that this is kind of where I'm putting all of my energy into.
Mhm.
Um, Simply because it's that thing, still that old school thinking of you're playing video games. It's like yes, I am.
Yeah, my parents don't really, I think, understand, I guess, what I do still, because they'll try to call me when I've already told them that, like, this is the times that
Hmm.
I'm streaming and stuff, and they're constantly trying to call me or, like, try to get me to do things, and I'm like, I'm busy. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't
I
just
find
drop this.
I find it funny because of course, like my mom and dad are learning. So my mom, when I was a kid, my mom used to play my N64.
Hmm.
My mom beat The Legend of Zelda, Mario 64, and Donkey Kong 64 before I did.
Yeah.
And I'll admit it right now, I didn't beat any one of those games, and it pissed me off because my mom did. Um, my mom beat like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I remember it because like I came home from school and she like beat it as I was coming home from school. So like for like the next month, I was just doing nothing but grinding, and it was literally just on the last final level of Ganon, and I couldn't do it. As a kid, I physically could not beat Ganon, and I was like, I kind of just fucking gave up at that point. Um, my dad's never been big into games, but it's funny because he's starting to learn a little bit. I'll say something and like related to like Apex, for instance, and I'd be like, "Oh, is that the Apex game?" And of course, you can't be like, "Yes, Dad," and like, "No, it's called Apex Legends. It's this. It's that." It's like, yeah, Dad, it's Apex, yeah. And and it's like okay. Um, and it's funny because there's a few times when people see him on stream sometimes, like once a month. Because the apartment building that I live in, we have a pest pro stop by, make sure there's no bed bugs, make sure there's no nothing, just kind of just a monthly check. Smart thing to do,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes if I'm streaming in the morning when he does the trips, he'll come in and he'll go on stream and he'll talk to the guys because, of course, with me playing college football, he knew them. So I'll ask him how they're going and everything, and then he'll look at the game and he'll say something stupid about the game, like, "Guys, you realize none of these guns are real, right?" Or it's like, "Well, so what is this thing that we're doing right now?" Um, I think the best one that I heard was he said something along the lines of like, "I don't know if I could play this. I don't know if I can. I feel like I would get sick playing this, like that sort of thing." With the quick motion, with the quick movements.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, no, I was so for me, family and streaming is a little bit different. Like I said at the beginning, I kind of envy you a little bit because I wish I had that, stuff to worry about. Because I do wish that I had someone. Um, but like I said, I think you do a great job of managing your time, of being with your family, but also letting your community that you have made know like what's going on. Like, hey, it's not always going to be. I'm not always going to be able to be here. Like, hey, like emergency showed up or that sort of thing. And I think that's it's one of the things that I actually like really admire about you is that like your community is so um like you have a really core group of people that are always there.
Yeah, they're pretty great. I
Yeah,
love them.
I love your community too. I think your community, like I said, I think your community is fucking awesome. I stop in every now and then. I'll say hi. A lot of times I stop in, I don't say stuff just because it's just who I am. I'm weird. I don't like.
Oh
I've
yeah, I'm the same too. Like I'll literally like when I'm eating breakfast, trying to like before I'm start the streaming and stuff,
mm,
I will try to like scarf down my breakfast like while I'm watching you play Apex with your
oh yeah.
friends.
Was like there's been times when like I'll get home. So on Wednesdays is my payday, right?
Mhm.
So we go to the bank. Me and my dad go to the bank because I work with my dad. We go to the bank together, drop off checks, and then sometimes we go to McDonald's and come back. So
Mhm.
there's some mornings when I'll get on like mics with my friends, and they'll be like, "You're not online yet," and I'm like full like trying to like scoff down like a burrito or two. It's like, hold up a minute, I got like 5 minutes. Run another one. Send another one.
Yeah.
um, that's a weird one. I try not to eat on stream. It happens every now and then, but I try not to.
Yeah, I don't like doing it. I used to do it all the time, I think, but just I try not to.
There's some days where like I can't help it. Like I do it like, for instance, my long streams on Tuesdays I eat on stream. But what I've
Mhm.
started doing recently is I mute my mic, and I just put something on in the background. Like I'll put on like YouTube, so like people can watch YouTube while I'm eating.
Oh
um,
yeah, that's smart.
but and one of the things I was going to say as well is because I don't have to deal with it, but it's one of the things that I do bring up with my friends a lot, or not a lot, but every now and then is their kids.
Mhm.
um, so like I've asked them before, like I'll either pause, or I'll either like mute the mics and ask them like, hey, is it okay if I if we say their name, like that sort of thing, and like, oh yeah, da 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 da, or oh no, let's try not to, and that sort of thing, and sometimes they get on mics, and sometimes it's really funny, um, talking to my friends' kids,
Mhm.
because like one of them, Elena, is my buddy John. That's his daughter, and she was born on the same day that I was. Um,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, it was really funny because I remember the day simply because like it was my birthday. I'm hanging out, doing stuff, and then my buddy John sends me the message, and he's like, "Hey, I got a birthday gift for you." And I'm kind of sitting there like, what the fuck do you mean you have a birthday gift for me, dude? It's like 12 p.m. It's like it's in the afternoon. there ain't nothing here for me. Like, what are you talking about? This was before I was streaming as well. And then he sent me like a picture, and I was like, oh my, like you didn't. Like this didn't and it's like, yep. And it's like, oh. But it's funny talking with her because like it brings out the kind of the in it. Like I could be in the middle of like a full Apex rage, and if I hear "Hi, Uncle Colin," immediately it's just like I revert back to "Hi, Elena." You know, and it's the same thing with one of my buddies' kids, Owen Jeff, his son. Oh, he'd come on and say something silly. You know, well, went to the zoo yesterday. Oh yeah, yeah, we went there yesterday. We saw monkeys, and and then Jeff got on. I was like, we went to the zoo like 3 weeks ago. I don't know why he said we went yesterday. But
Yeah, kids are weird like that.
it is. I mean, it is. It's something to I almost admire though. Just kind of like just how innocent and just how kind of like happy shit like that is.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, so I completely get what you mean with it's like you don't want them on screen sometimes. You don't want to kind of you're being safe, right? Because of the fucking shitty world that we live in, to an extent with certain things. Um, but
Yeah, I ended up, I think, removing because I kept the same Instagram that I have had for a
oh,
really
like,
long time,
mm-hmm,
since like Instagram was first Instagram.
yep,
Like, I kept the same one when I started streaming, and I had so many pictures of like family and like
mm-hmm,
of my kid and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I should probably move these or something. So I like took them all off or like archived them, and then I have like a separate like personal
mm-hmm,
Instagram that's like private for stuff like that. So like now on my streaming one, I just don't post pictures of stuff like that, I guess.
yeah,
Just because you never know, you know?
yeah, exactly. It's one of those things you're not. It's better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah.
I that was like one of the very first things that I decided on once I made a Instagram and Twitter and all that was I was like, I'm gonna make a brand new one that's designated just for the channel because I don't want my personal life and what my streaming life is to be kind of shown. Which is funny that I say that because I don't remember the last time I used my personal Instagram or my personal Twitter. Um, and on stream, I literally showed people exactly where I live.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's not good.
I brought up Google Earth at one point, and I was like, "This is where I live. This right here. These three windows are mine." And I was like, "And then if you do this, and then I'm like clicking down the street and going down the alley, and I'm like, if you go down this alley, this is where I work. This is where I go to the store." Um, I did it one day, and someone in chat like said, it's like, hey, is this smart to do that? And I was like, look, man, if I get a stalker, that'd be the coolest thing that's happened to me in so long. Like, ain't no one gonna be, like, I'm watching you through the window. They'd say that, and I would send a message back, like, yeah, I see you. And they'd look up, and I'd be waving out the fucking window at them, like, hi, want to come up?
You want to come
Want to come in? I have coffee. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, like I said, I do really look up to the way that you handle streaming, family, and how you juggle all of it. And it's like you make it look very effortlessly. Ooh, that was a tough one to say. You make it look very effortless.
in?
It's gonna be one of those nights, isn't it? You make it look very easy. There, I'm not even gonna fucking try to say the big words.
Yeah, no, I'm stressed constantly. I'm constantly stressed all the
Oh,
time. There's no getting rid of it. It's
yeah,
just,
no, I feel like that's one of the things now these days that like there is no way of getting rid of it. Like we're gonna be stressed. That's our whole generation's like thing.
yeah.
Like we are the stress generation. Like it doesn't matter. We could be having a great time and just out of nowhere, it's like oh, gotta go home tomorrow, which means I have to go to work the next day, which means you know,
Yeah.
um, right. And that brings us around to the final segment of the night, which is my life as a
Hmm. What am I? I am my life. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and I like to stream. I'm
Oh,
a
okay.
streamer.
Interesting. Okay. Now I remember. I love it. For everyone out there that doesn't know, I think me and Jen are laughing at the same thing. The John Live just wrote in the chat, "E-girl." Um, um, have you
Maybe an e-mom.
have you? Oh yeah. Oh my God. Don't even know. That bring in a whole
No,
new.
we're not gonna make
That's
that
gonna bring in a
happen.
whole new generation of things. Now, do you remember back in 2021 when on some random dude's podcast, someone said "e-mom" and then that just took over the world? Um,
I'm gonna add that to my bio.
you should actually. You really should. That'd be fucking hilarious to see you if you do that. To see if it does catch on and other people start doing it. Um, Also, now that you just said e-girl, I got to bring this up. Have you seen these websites where you can like hire an e-girl to like play with you? That sounds really
Oh,
weird to say that out
I
loud.
think I saw somebody told me about that. Like you can, like, yeah, like they'll be playing and like you just pay them and like you can play a game with them, right?
Yeah, like you can give them one of the ones that I saw was like it's like $100 and you get to play like an hour or something like that with them. Like it's the weirdest fucking thing. Like I don't know. Hey,
Sounds amazing, and I need to do
it sounds
that.
amazing. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Just like I feel like, could you imagine? Like I can see like the YouTube videos that people probably have from it that are along the lines of like I hired an e-girl to carry me in Apex.
Oh man, if I can carry, I would. I'd carry
See,
with some
look at
money.
that. Look at that. See, that's all you need to do. You need to just get on these sites and be like, hey, my name is BasicJenn. These are my stats on Apex. If you need an e-girl to carry you, I will. And then all you got to do is just throw a little few little flirt lines in there every now and then. Oh, stop it, you. And like yeah, you'll be fine. Okay, so stay-at-home mom. This is one that we haven't seen yet. I had on the podcast before. Stay-at-home mom. So of course, with that means taking care of the house, taking care of the dogs, taking care of
Everything.
everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
So it's kind of like the greatest job and the worst job.
Yeah. I
Is it?
mean, I like it, I
Mm,
guess. I really like it. But if I had to do something else, like I don't mind doing something else either.
mm.
Like I really liked when I did have like certain jobs. I didn't like all my jobs before, but I've had my favorites. And it's like if I had to also do that for the rest, like forever, like I would also enjoy that.
Is
Um,
isn't it kind of weird now that you just said that that how many years? Even if we go back like 20 25 years, right?
mhm.
It was always about career. What are you going to do for a career? It was never
Yeah.
like a job. Like it was always one of those things where it's like, well, I'm not going to work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. And then there are people now that like that's all they do. That's all they've done. That has been their career. So it's interesting how words like that have changed. I feel just a weird little side tangent, just going off seeing a butterfly real quick. Um,
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it either. Like if
oh
you
yeah, no.
really enjoy the job that you've had and it changes, like if you want to make it your career, like go for it.
And that's the thing, and I think that there's just some people as well that like they get stuck with certain things. I'll use like me right now personally. Like I just got put on salary at the job that I'm at.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, why would I want to move? Like I could do a job that I enjoy hell of a lot more than I do this, but I'm on salary now, and I do a good job. So
Yeah, there's like a bunch of things you gotta like consider and stuff. It's never just like as easy as I think people
hmm
may assume it is.
um, so stay at home mom. I feel like I should have asked you beforehand so I could have written down some things here for this because I'm kind of drawing a few blanks right now. So what? So okay, so here, let me do this then. Without getting, if it gets a little bit too, if it's too invasive, then just let me know. What's a typical day look like for you as a stay-at-home mom?
Okay, so 7:15, get out of bed, gotta let the dogs out, gotta wake the kid up, you gotta make lunches, you gotta make breakfast. You also, in that time, you also have to get ready yourself at
Mm-hmm.
some point. Um, I take the kid to school, I come back, I decide whether I want to shower and get ready or if I want to eat breakfast.
Okay.
I never really have time to do both the days that I do stream. It's either, do you want to shower and feel good, or you just want to like put on a beanie, put on some makeup, and actually make breakfast. Or, so yeah, I decide between one of those,
I,
and then
I completely understand the whole. Do I want to just put on a beanie and makeup instead? For me, for guys, I feel like it's, do I put on a hoodie with the hood up, or do I put a baseball cap on, or do I put a beanie on? Because like the days when I'm just not feeling it, and it's like, I really should shower. It's like, all right, where's my lightweight hoodie? Put the lightweight hoodie on, put the hood up, put the headphones over. It's like there.
yeah, I'm just like, this is a beanie day.
Yeah.
um, then do the whole streaming thing.
Hmm.
I don't, because I stream like in the middle of the day. I don't get to eat lunch typically.
Hmm.
And then as soon as I get off streaming, I go and pick up the kid from school, come back, make sure homework gets done. Sometimes I can take like, I don't know, maybe we'll be done by 5 or maybe we're done by like 4:30, and then gotta make dinner. Uh, all while also like cleaning up after the dogs and letting them out during the day, making sure they're fed. Uh, Probably do some dishes maybe, and then I'll come back to the computer and kind of just play games for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 more hours,
Hmm.
and then it's like bedtime for pretty much everybody. Where everybody's like in bed by like 9, pretty much, and then you start the whole day over.
Wow. So I mean, like for you in your case, it's really a take care of the family, and then I might take care of myself a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they always like, they definitely always come first. Like,
Hmm.
it's not like well, I want to do this for myself first, so you kind of just have to wait.
I mean, I get that wholeheartedly because I'm always a big one where I put other people first, and then it's like then I'll worry about me.
Hmm.
You know. So it's like I'll always ask like, hey, how are you doing? And it's like I just asked you how you. No, it's like I don't. My how I feel doesn't fucking matter. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Um, well, it's awesome. I'm going to tell you this right now, Jen. I didn't know that you were a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
I see. I thought you had a part-time job that you did every now and then.
Mm, nah. I mean, technically, I guess like a stay-at-home mom, like what? I'm like a chauffeur and a chef and like a nanny
Yeah, I
and
mean,
like all those
yeah.
things.
Technically, if you wanted to, yeah. Wow, actually, now that you just said that,
Damn.
God, you could make like the greatest fucking resume. Technically, just by writing all that down. It's like write all that, and then like at the very end, it's like mom, and it's like, ma'am,
Yeah.
what does this mean? It's like, oh, well, see, because I am a stay-at-home mom, those are all the things that I do. So you're a chauffeur? Yes, I have to curry kids and family around. So you're a
Hmm.
world class chef. My kid says I am. Oh, that's funny. So because of course it's a stay at home mom, and as you said, your wife is highly supportive of you streaming.
Hmm.
Because I know you and me have talked about that one before. And about how you basically at one point. I remember you saying this could have been a year or two ago that you were basically full time streaming at that point because I think you were almost daily at that point. At one point, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there was one point where I was on like literally like all day, and I don't, to think of it now is like I'm just like, wait, how did that happen? Like I am on like I used to go for like a really long time every day.
Hmm.
Um, I think my wife must have been picking up the kid from school or something. Um, but yeah, I was doing it like every day and stuff. But like after a while, it got too much for me. I think like mentally, just like stressing about the things that I wasn't getting done. Um, so I think I took like a 4-month break maybe.
Yes.
I didn't stream for like a good while, and then eventually I came back and I was like, okay, but I'm only gonna do these certain days because like it was just too much stress. Like maybe like eventually I would like to do it more often,
Hmm.
whether it be like maybe one of the days on a weekend or have like instead of having Tuesdays and Thursdays off, like I'll have just maybe Thursdays off or something. But
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why one of the reasons why I brought back the podcast. Because of course, like I said, you've been around since the beginning. You may have seen my original bullshit podcast that I did way back in the day. I think I only got to like episode 5 or something like that before I canceled that shit. Um, but like that's one of the reasons why I kind of did the podcast was because, as you know, I stream daily,
yeah.
and that's kind of my big thing. Is like I want to stream every day. But like you're saying, Lo, like after a while of streaming daily, like you get burnt out, you get mentally just kind of broken.
Mhm.
And I started doing the podcast because one, I love talking with people. Two, I always find it interesting just talking about different things. Um, but also this is a nice easy stream for me.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I used to write down freaking notes on notes and notes of questions and talking points and and then I just like there was one day when I didn't do it, and I actually enjoyed it more just kind of off the top of the dome piece thinking instead of having stuff like pre-planned.
Yeah, you just gotta, it's probably just better you just let it flow.
Exactly, it felt more organic because like I would have like certain
Yeah.
talking points and I was almost forcing them at points in. Um, but like yeah, I totally get what you mean though about being burnt out when you do a lot. That's like I said, that's one of the reasons why I love doing the podcast on Sunday nights. It seems like not a whole lot of people are doing much Sunday night. It's a nice chill thing. We get a lot of different conversations, anime, family, streaming. We've had comics, we had mental health, we've had football, we've had movies, we've had what was one of them we had was like is esports good? Is artificial intelligence good? Like we've had all sorts of different random topics. I think me and Lauren, I think we talked about food one day, and we talked about food for like an hour. And it's funny because like we both grew up in England, so we were just talking about like the food that we had when we were kids. Like that was the
Mhm.
entire talk. It's like, do you remember Marmite? And it's like, oh, I remember Marmite. Do you remember this? Oh, I remember that. Like, um, but yeah, no. Stay-at-home mom is a. It's. I think it's a one of those things that people don't realize how tough it is. I think it's kind of not underrated. It's overlooked. That's the word I'm looking for. It's overlooked.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I think, is just assume you have a lot of time on your hands, I
Hmm.
guess. Or it's like not as much as you think.
Yeah.
Or I do have a lot of time, but I also have a lot of like things that I need to do.
Hmm. Well, especially, I mean, like, depending on, like, because, like, for instance, like, there's a difference between, like, what I know my apartment clean looks like versus what I consider clean in my apartment being, you know? And it's like, stay at home, you probably have the same thing, right? It's like, okay, this is clean enough versus this is clean.
Yeah. And it's like also with like the 5 dogs, like I am constantly sweeping and mopping these floors. Like it's just 5 dogs, man. I don't know.
I don't know how you do 5 dogs. I was thinking about getting just one dog in my apartment. Um, in the building that I'm in, you can only have a pet if it's a what is it called?
Like small?
No, you have to get a like a doctor's note.
Oh, okay. If it's like a yeah, like a support
There
animal.
we go. A support animal. Thank you. Yeah, emotional support dog. That's the only way you can have. That's technically the only way you can have one.
Mhm.
One of the people in the building has one, but it's not an emotional support dog at all. Um, uh, but at one point, because my dad is the landlord of my building that I'm in, and he's my boss, and I was talking to him one day about it, and he's like, we can just try and get you one.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the thing is like because like the John Live just wrote forge the paperwork. Um, I started thinking about it and I was like, man, that would be fucking awesome if I could have a dog, just because it would be something else that I can interact with, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've said to people before, like there's times for me personally that get kind of a little dark when, without trying to, I could go from Thursday till like Tuesday and not see an actual person,
Mm.
like in like person, physically see another person, just
Yeah.
because like I go to work at 5 in the morning. I come home at 9, so if I do see someone, it's like walking back to my apartment, basically. And then I'm on stream all day, and then I'm just kind of in my apartment because I have nowhere else to go. But then I started thinking about it. It's like I can barely take care of myself, let alone a dog.
Yeah,
Husky,
they're
Pomeranian
very.
Husky. Um, I
They
was,
are pretty needy.
oh yeah, it was like, well, my mom and dad have had dogs my entire life. Actually, the first dog I got was when I was 3.
No.
Yeah, funny story. The old Caesar dog food, the West Highland White Terrier that they have for that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they used to have commercials with that. And as a 3-year-old, I didn't have an imaginary friend. I had an imaginary dog, and her name was Harry. And one day in the living room, in the kitchen, um, I got mad at my mom because my mom stepped on Harry,
Oh no.
and I complained about it. And my mom was kind of fed up with that, fed up with the whole thing, and she kicked my imaginary dog.
Oh.
And there was like a 3-day period apparently where I didn't talk to my mom because she kicked my imaginary dog. Um, and then the following birthday, yeah, Husky has a little West Highland West Highland White Terrier named Harriet. And since then, I've had, let's see, we had her. She had a litter. We kept 2 of them, Hamish and Greer. All of them are gone now. And then we had 2 Airedale Terriers, Buck and Amelia. Buck is gone now, passed away this past winter. And Amelia is, how old is she? She's 13, I think, now. So she's gonna
Wow.
be, she's gonna be going soon. But yeah, no, John. I thought about getting a husky. My apartment is not suited for a husky. If I were to get a dog, simply just because I've loved them my entire life, I would have tried to have gotten an English bulldog. And I understand all the health problems with them, but I just think they're so fucking adorable.
Yeah, they're fucking cute.
It's so adorable, and I think it fits me perfectly. Um, I just realized I muted stream for that, and not you, Jen. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I did that, and then I looked over and I saw my thing flashing. I was like, oh damn it. Um, but yeah, no. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about, Jen?
um, I don't know. That's I guess that's about it. Like that's literally like what my life is right now. It's like I'm constantly watching. If I'm not streaming, I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching some sort of anime. If I'm not streaming, I'm taking care of like a kid or something or running errands. Like it's just it's my life.
Now, would you? Now, here's a question then.
Okay.
I'm going to call it anime, even though it probably wouldn't be. Would you like to see an Apex cartoon/anime sort of thing, more than just the little teaser trailers that they give us before each season?
Um, I don't know, cause it's like I do like their little like videos that they have and stuff. Like it would be great if it just all came together and you can just watch like
Mm-hmm.
a movie of how everything came to be.
Yeah.
Like I'd watch that, but I don't know if I would watch like an actual like series of Apex.
Yeah, they like. I think if they did. if they did like almost like if they did a season, like if they put like 20 episodes or something like that, right? We're gonna do 20 episodes. It's gonna explain from this to this. Done.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be kind of cool. The other one, I don't know if anyone has seen this yet or bought this yet, is we do have this lovely Apex Legends Pathfinder's Quest book that just came out. Have you seen this thing?
I saw it online, but I actually I haven't seen it.
So I bought it. The first one that I ordered didn't come in. The box was torn up, and this was the only item missing from said box. So I had to reorder it. But it's a very interesting thing because like I'll show like a couple like pages sort of thing if I can. It's like I
That's a lot of
assumed
words.
that's the thing. I assumed it was going to be like very comic-y, and it's
Yeah,
very like transcripty.
hmm.
So what it is it's like there's pictures from the game, there's different chapters, and each chapter revolves around a different legend, and it's Pathfinder trying to find out who his creator is.
Oh.
And at the end of it, you actually find out who his creator is. I've yet to fully read this because, as I mean, like here, like this is like there's part of Mirage's section. Like you see that, and it's like it's so much,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like this isn't a small book. This is that was
No,
on page
yeah.
94. So if I can find the one of the further pages, 204 pages, and it's all. It's really cool. It
That's an
is.
encyclopedia.
Oh, that's the thing. Is like it's like there's so much like little things in here, like here, Pathfinder Memory Log, Day 1. Today I hit the open road on a transport in space to meet my friend Ajay Shea, but her thousands of #1 fans call her Lifeline. The message I found gave me first batch of clues that I think can lead me to my creator. There was one clue that looks familiar, and that's Chevrex. After having my life saved a number of times by Ajay's heel drone Doc, I remember reading its system signature as Chevre Inc. Maybe she can help. Hey, maybe she's my creator. And that's like a little box this big on this entire freaking page.
Yeah.
Like there's so much reading in this. Like I was so excited to get this because I was like, awesome. Oh, it was made by Dark Horse. That's probably why it's fucking so much reading. Um, like I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna read it. And then I got it, and I was like, damn. Okay, so one of the ones that I have heard that potentially could be getting an anime sort of treatment is Overwatch.
Oh, like an actual series.
Mm-hmm. There's rumors of it.
Hmm.
And now that's one that I think I would be down to watch a couple seasons of. Because you could
I mean, I
do
would definitely try watching it and see if I like it. If I like it, then
because
hell yeah.
I would be cool with that would be the amount of different backstory that there is with it.
Mm.
Like the creation of Overwatch, how like everything began, the fall of it, what happened in between, the bringing everyone back together, the present day. Like I think there's a very like broad spectrum of it that you could do, and so many different characters that you could hit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, so okay, so here to end this, my final question: if you were to make an anime, you fully in control. You have full control, full rights, everything. You can make whatever anime you want. What is BasicJenn's anime about?
It would definitely have to be something creepy, like a horror
Oh,
kind of
okay.
anime, like something horror related. Hmm. Maybe in a school or something.
Oh, so we're talking like almost like a haunting in a school type of like.
Yeah, either a haunting in a school or maybe a killer student or something or a killer teacher.
Oh,
I don't know, something like that. I really like creepy animes, like horror animes.
interesting.
I think yeah, I would try to make that.
For me, I've had this idea for a while. So if anyone wants to steal this and make it come true, you're more than welcome. Same with Jen's idea. We would love to see these things come true.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead, make it.
the one that I've always thought of is almost like a medieval war sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But the thing that I always thought of that was like in my head, I was like, this would be really kind of cool to see how it could be done. Was I'm a big fan of roses.
Hmm.
So like the tattoo on my right has purple roses, the tattoo on my left has red roses. The next tattoo I'm getting is going to have baby blue roses. Um, so when I started thinking about that, I was like, that would be kind of a cool idea for like a medieval war sci-fi sort of thing, where like the kingdom is like the kingdom of roses, and the warriors, like for instance, like you grew up there, you're now of age to join the military, so you go to the king. The king gives you this like basically a glass rose, right?
Hmm.
But it has a thorn sticking out of it, and you have to put the thorn into your hand and fully grasp it, and your blood fills the rose up, and then the rose, like the actual like fills the stem, it goes up to the rose, it fully encompasses the rose shines bright, and then it changes color. So let's say it changes like green, for instance. Just making this part up now. It changes green. Then suddenly, out of, the hilt of a sword or like the blade of a sword suddenly starts coming out of it.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
that's what division of the military kind of you are. So like almost like a rose sorting hat. And the thing that I was going to have happen is someone goes and does it, and he goes to fill it up, and it fills up, but the whole rose turns white, and nothing happens. And then what happens is it's like this guy is like he's like royalty, but no one knows it. But he's like the chosen one, and like so he can use whatever kind of like sword, axe, flail, and all these different things. Like he can use all of them basically. And there's going to be different kingdoms, and each kingdom is going to be its own separate thing. And that was kind of a thing that I had in my head at one point.
Yeah, that sounds badass. I'd watch that.
The other one was one of the ones that my buddy had, and he wanted to make it into a comic. I'm totally gonna steal his idea and say it out now on stream. So if Jeremiah, if you ever listen to this, I'm sorry, but he wanted to do a flip on vampires, werewolves, and demons. He wanted to flip the script because in almost all the things, demons are considered, like super overpowered. Vampires are kind of like the high and wealthy, like the noble type,
Hmm.
right? And werewolves are kind of, always kind of like the scummy, dredge of the earth sort of thing. And he wanted to do a spin on that, but twist it. So he wanted to make the hierarchy be werewolves are kind of the proper prim types. Make the vampires more gangster, scummy, kind of that sort of thing. And have the demons be taking over control of like anyone, peasants, humans, zombies. I mean, not zombies, vampires, werewolves, demons taking them over. But they're like kind of like the homeless people. They're the kind of the dredge. They're the that sort of thing. And I thought that'd be kind of a unique take on it as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because I have this I love the idea of like a werewolf in a suit.
Yeah,
And like the vampires rolling up as like mafia sort of gangster sort of thing.
that would look cool.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Jen, for coming on. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, welcome. It
Uh,
was fun.
thank you, thank you. It was a lot of fun. All these, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had a podcast and I was like that sucked. Um, and I had a lot of fun. It's always fun just talking shit, and it's always fun talking shit with people, with friends that I haven't talked to in a while as well. This is the first time we've talked in. Oh man, I think maybe when we last played TFT,
Yeah.
which was what, like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, probably close to 2 years.
Yeah, so this was all fun. Thank you. I will be putting that Basic Jen's link in the comments down below. I'll leave your link for your Twitter and your Twitch. Yeah, those are the best two for you.
Thank you, thank you.
There we go. All right. Any last words?
I don't know. Have fun.
There we go. So, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.